Britain is burning. It's on fire with thugs from the white supremacists and criminals from the EDL founded by racist Tommy Robinson causing widespread chaos and violence up and down the country. British PM Keir Starmer has once again addressed the nation, seconded by him within days, promising strictest action against those thugs from the right-wing groups.
Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. The police will be making arrests, individuals will be held on remand, charges will follow, and convictions will follow. I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online. Right now, there are attacks happening on a hotel in Rotherham. Marauding gangs intent on law-breaking, or worse. Windows smashed, fire set ablaze, residents and staff in absolute fear. There is no justification, none, for taking this action, and all right-minded people should be condemning this sort of violence. People in this country have a right to be safe. And yet, we've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police, wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is, far-right thuggery. To those who feel targeted because of the colour of your skin or your faith, I know how frightening this must be. I want you to know that this violent mob do not represent our country, and we will bring them to justice. Our police deserve our support as they tackle any and all violent disorder that flares up. Whatever the apparent cause or motivation, we make no distinction. Crime is crime, and this government will tackle it.
But Keir Starmer cannot exonerate himself from this crime and act like a saint. He has been complicit in the gaslighting of Muslims in the wake of Israel's genocidal campaign in Gaza. We knew Rishi Sunak was horrible and stood on the side of those shaming humanity. Sunak never projected himself as a champion of human values. The Conservative Party that he headed never prided itself in promoting social values. But Keir Starmer did. So for Keir Starmer, an international human rights lawyer of repute, to remain a bystander and at times be a party to this thuggery was shocking and utterly disappointing. Let's understand why the UK is witnessing violent riots by right-wing thugs up and down the country today. This all started with Tommy Robinson and people of his ilk, such as Katie Hopkins, using Twitter to spread fake news that the 17-year-old boy who killed 3 children in Southport was a Muslim. This was a lie. It turned out that he wasn't a Muslim and his name is Axel Rudakubana. But even after the court revealed that the killer's identity in an unprecedented move, these right-wing thugs refused to delete those posts, blaming a Muslim for a Southport stabbing. Elon Musk's Twitter should have taken action against these hate mongers, but it didn't, because Musk is known to act only against those criticizing Israel. So my question is, why did Starmer not come down like a ton of brick on Twitter? Now he is the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister with an amazing majority. He can take action against Twitter, but he has refused to do so. He kept talking about tough action against the rioters, but no action against individuals who used fake news to spread hatred against Muslims, to demonize them for no fault of theirs. Starmer cannot blame others just because he's been a weak and incompetent in firmly dealing with these rioters and hate mongers. The current hate against Muslims and attack on their religious places is the culmination of months of gaslighting by British politicians such as Starmer himself, Suella Braverman, Lee Anderson, and Nigel Farage. Has Starmer forgotten? And should he not be asked as to why he did not use his privilege as the Prime Minister in waiting to call out Nigel Farage's bigotry when he accused the country's entire Muslim group of not sharing British values?
And most interestingly, we have a growing number of young people in this country who do not subscribe to British values, in fact, loathe much of what we stand for. So what do you do?
Who are we talking about there?
Oh, I think we see them on the streets of London every Saturday.
What do they look like? Oh, we're talking about...
What do they look like?
Are we talking about Muslims here?
We are. And I'm afraid I found some of the recent surveys saying that 46% of British Muslims support Hamas, support a terrorist organisation that is prescribed in this country. So we've been, and what's interesting is that this Prime Minister is building up far more of that population than anybody before in history.
That was on Sky News just before the elections. Why did Starmer or his MPs did not use their power to shame Sky News for providing platform to a known divisive figure and Islamophobe? Why did the Labour Party not warn Ofcom, the media regulator, of serious consequences for not taking action against Sky News whenever it comes to power? The silence by Starmer and his MPs meant that even the BBC started providing platform to Farage to repeat his hateful lies from their channels. When Suella Braverman was calling peaceful protests by Muslims a hate march, why was Starmer quiet? Had Starmer and his MPs acted robustly in good faith on the individuals inciting hatred in British society, we would be in a far better situation as a country today. You can't simply turn the British society into a heaven without curing the root cause of the disease. And that disease is rampant Islamophobia. Let's admit it. Let's acknowledge it. If Starmer paid 1% of efforts that he focused on dealing with the imaginary problem of anti-Semitism in his party, the UK today would be a thriving country for all communities and races. So dear PM, my simple message to you is that you have been a willful partner to the racial and religious divides that this country is experiencing today. Sooner you recognize this and apologize to redeem yourself, the better it will be for your own personal reputation and this country. And also to not just talk, act against these hate mongers. The country is burning. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.